Man. So what's up? Hold on. Let me turn my camera
Okay.
on. Oh wait, it's on already. Let me.
Yes. There you are. There you are. How you doing?
Man, what a what a freaking day.
I already know, dude. I already know.
I'm all right though, man. I just, you know,
Oh yeah. Let me see.
everything
I
is good.
make
How
it.
are
Let
you
me
doing?
make sure I'm.
I see the kiss in the background.
Oh, Kiss is the shit.
Yeah,
They
look at that.
my parents played the best of bread for like that's nice. That's sweet.
Paul Stanley
That's
What?
cool.
signed it. Yeah,
That's
What?
oh
What?
this is
dude,
my
that's
baby
What?
right here.
that's bad. That's badass.
I
That's
love Kiss.
badass.
I just got to touch him one time and he'll disappear. And that's because I got him. Just got to touch him once. He's
Yeah,
mine.
I won the Father's Day contest out of Spokane in 2018, and I either got to go backstage and meet Five Finger Death Punch, get a signed
Wow.
guitar, or
Wow.
meet Kiss, and it was a no brainer.
Yeah.
My friend's mom cut their hair in Spokane like before they blew up, has all their hair, and she's
Wow.
willing it to me when she dies. And I've had the same dream about it. The idea ever since she told me about it is I'm cloning it and making my own Kiss Army. I'll go to China. I don't give a fuck if they're the ones doing it. Fuck it, I'll go.
I'm cracking up. You know, Five Finger Death Punch is actually they're really good, but yeah, if I got a chance to meet them or Kiss, I'm definitely meeting Kiss.
Kiss, they're, everybody in rock and roll pretty much has to thank Kiss,
That's right.
for something.
As long as Vinny Vincent isn't there.
Yeah, yeah, he's kind of a wingnut a little bit. He did better in Vinnie Vincent Invasion than he did in Kiss.
Name with Kiss.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I love man, it's crazy. I really love older rock a lot,
right
like
on.
a lot of my inspirations from like older artists.
Like who?
So my guitar inspiration is Steve Vai,
There you go. Right on.
Buckethead. I
Right
love me
on.
some Buckethead, and I love Angel Vivaldi a lot.
Uh huh.
But I would say my number one would be Joe Satriani.
There you go. Have
He
you
he's good.
have you heard the Sats Vibe band?
I
Anything off of
have.
them?
I've been seeing them on my Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, their first single they put out was Dancing.
Right. I
What
saw
did
that.
you think about that?
I thought it it wasn't bad. It's just so I think like I tailor my music experience to like a harder, like a heavier
Right,
experience. And when it isn't too heavy, it's definitely really euphoric,
right,
like
right,
kind of out of this world.
right.
Like so like Joe Satriani's Unstoppable Momentum.
Sure.
That's my shit
Right
because
on. Right on.
I feel like I can conquer the world when I'm listening to that song.
Right.
Or Steve Vai's
But what can you do to dancing?
not a damn
but
thing. I'm not a dancer.
but you know what I'm saying. Their first single, my buddy turned me on to him, the guy named Jesse Lee Falls. He's
Uh-huh.
lives kind of close to me and he's really good. His style is like Stevie Wonder funk with blues.
Mhm.
And he's got a really nice sound and good voice to back it up.
Mhm.
He's really good. He turned me on to that. He goes, "You got to watch this," and I'm watching it, and it was uncomfortable. It was almost painful because they're going right from the gate. They're going all their good shit, but they're
Yeah.
doing it like half-ass. It's like
I
the
feel
two
like
wonders came together and they imploded. You know, they
yeah, I feel like that might have been that might
they
have been the
sorted
goal.
themselves out.
Yeah, like I think that might have been the goal. And I think what they're trying to do with the Sash Vibe band is they're trying to kind of blend the two styles to kind of
Right,
make something a little more, I want to say, palpable,
right,
something that like a lot of people can digest, and like
right,
everyone loves to dance.
right, right.
Um, what is this song by Steve Vai where he's damn near making love to the guitar? You know
Oh,
what
I
song that
remember
is?
that. I saw actually that was like in 90 or 92 or something like that. And I
Yeah.
saw that concert in Portland
Oh
and
wow.
he was amazing. Because he played with Frank Zappa and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he
Zap.
had
A lot of people don't know about Zappa too, and
yeah,
he's good.
and that I can't remember his name, but he was a black guy who sang for Zappa. I can't fucking remember his name for the life of me, but he's from Portland, and he came out and did like 4 songs with them. But he also had this little short white guy with a mohawk about 2 feet tall, just thrashing. It was interesting. It was definitely different,
Yeah.
but it was good stuff, But I don't know that if I'm hoping "Dancing" is the worst single on that. I really am, because I'm having a hard time with it. I really am. It's just like I don't know, but
I'm cracking up. That's hilarious that you say that though. I saw like the little snippet on my Instagram, and I just see all these people like just doing all
yeah,
this
it's
crazy shit.
weird. At the start of it, it's just weird. I don't know. It was really weird. I don't know,
But
but I'm
I'll
hoping
say
it's the
this.
worst one.
I'll say this. They definitely opened themselves up to like a larger audience
Oh, for sure,
with that
for sure,
song. You
for
know,
sure. They
people
did.
who
They did.
want to be able to dance to rock and roll music,
Right.
not just like break their
Right.
necks. You know,
Yeah, exactly. You have to have neck surgery when you're 50,
right?
because I'm looking at that.
I'm right
But
behind you. I don't headbang as much as I used to. As a matter of fact, I ended up cutting my locks off, or at least
right
cutting
on.
them shorter. Because I
It's
just
much
found
easier to
myself,
deal with that way.
yeah.
That's what I used to have hair down in my ass, and it was the biggest mullet you've ever seen, dude. It was fucking cool
I
as fuck.
like mullets too.
I
That's
love
the
them
crazy
too. I
part.
think they're cool as hell.
Everybody, I know, like they get a lot of slack, but like I really like mullets. Like I
Dude,
think they look
they're
cool as
cool.
shit.
Yep. Business in the front, party in the back.
Yes.
It's true.
All business up front, all party.
But ever since I shaved it off, it's like I've tried to grow it out a couple times, and it just my brain gets too hot. It just like boils in there, and I got to shave it off because it cools me down a little bit. But so, how long you been playing?
So I've been playing guitar for about 15 years.
Right on.
And it's crazy because I'm like self-taught for the most part.
Right on. That's
Do
cool.
you have the colors, Queen? Oh, can I get some? I'm sorry. I'm
No,
asking
you're
my
good.
wife for my
You're
little
good.
smoke.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I it's crazy because my story, so I've always loved rock and roll music, right? So like
Right.
I grew up in foster care.
Uh-huh.
I was in like 15 homes, right?
Right.
It was a shitty experience.
Definitely.
After the 15th home, I was out on my own.
Right.
They were just like, well, you're 18 now, you got to
Right.
go figure it out.
Yeah.
But prior to that, like I fell in love with rock and roll.
Right
You know,
on.
I remember listening to I want to get away, I
Oh yeah.
want to fly every day. And I
How
didn't
old are
know who
you?
this,
How old are you?
I was probably about
No,
9.
how old are you now?
Oh, I'm 30. I just turned 35 on the
Okay.
29th.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I was probably about 9. I used to listen to it all the time on I think it was WMMR that I was listening to that on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got older and I was able to like research music, I found out it was Lenny Kravitz, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
Right.
yo, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
Right.
he's just like this badass rock star. And I gradually started discovering more and more artists
Right
as
on.
time went on. But when I was 21, I was finally able to get a guitar.
Right on.
Um, and it just happened so randomly. Like, I was celebrating my 21st birthday. I didn't really have a lot of people around me. Like, really, I didn't have a lot of people in my life. And in that
Right.
time, I was alone. Like, I was in the house, and I'm like, how do I want to celebrate myself? And I'm like, you know what? I got some money. Let me go get a guitar.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know jack shit about making
Right.
music or anything. I just
Right
knew
on.
I loved rock and roll and heavy metal so much.
Right.
Went down to a pawn shop. I only had $75.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, everything was like $300,
Right.
200, 150.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, I can't afford shit.
Right.
Something just told me to look up. I looked up, and it was a white and black Fender Stratocaster hanging directly above my head with a price tag on
Wow.
it that said $75. And I was like, and
Oh.
get this, I didn't realize it at the time, but like, so like in my life, a lot of people kind of say like I look like Jimi Hendrix, right? Like
Huh? You
especially with
got
my
you
hair and
guys
stuff.
look at you got facial
I
structure
have
a
his
little bit.
likeness,
You
which is
do.
wild. But like when I got home after, so the guitar guy, the guy in the pawn shop, he looked out for me. He gave
Right
me a
on.
bag, a little
Right
starter
on.
amp,
That's cool.
everything I would need. And I was like,
That's
okay, cool, appreciate it. Got home, set my guitar on the table because this is before I knew anything about
right.
stands. I see a book that I had got from Guitar Center a while
Mm-hmm.
ago. Because I've been contemplating getting a guitar
Sure.
before that. So I had like this book from Guitar Center. It had Jimi Hendrix on the cover.
Right
I
on.
opened it, and like the first page I flipped to, it's Jimi Hendrix with a white and black Fender Stratocaster, and I was like, I couldn't
That's
believe
God
it.
saying something, shit
Yeah,
like that.
so ever since then, I just been all in. I taught myself how to play.
Right on.
Um, I don't know how to read music worth
You
a
read
shit, and
tablature?
huh?
Can you read tablature?
I'm learning to read tablature. It's kind of complex. I understand it,
Right.
but like I'm not like a pro at it,
Right. Right.
so to speak. But like if I were to play something, you're like, oh well, what chord is that? I don't fucking know.
I
I
don't
just know
know
it
any of
sounds
that
good.
shit, but I got a good ear for shit,
Yeah, I
and I
just know
never.
how it's supposed to sound.
Right.
It's
Right.
weird. It's the weirdest thing. You can send me a beat and I could add guitars to it that would like complement the
Right
music that's
on.
already there. And so like I just have this like uncanny gift that I just, once I started nurturing it, I realized like, yeah, I really am a rock star. Like,
Right on.
I'm not I don't have to call myself one.
No.
People have given me
Everybody's a rock
such
star.
tremendous,
Everybody's a
yeah,
rock star in some way, shape, or form,
right,
and
right,
I fully believe in that. I've been a dirt bag. I've been the guy you couldn't trust, and then I had an epiphany one day and I changed my shit,
yeah,
and I'm not perfect by any means. I
yeah,
definitely make mistakes all the time. Me and my mom battle every day. What's come out of her stroke is her severe dislike for me. It's come out to the forefront, it seems, but it is what it is, but
I'm
people,
glad she's doing better though.
I am too. I am
That
too.
being said,
But
like,
like
yeah,
this thing, just about it. I've had some really good guests on this show, and I've been blessed, for sure, because all I'm doing is trolling Facebook. That's it. I troll Facebook or Instagram, and I'll see someone with like a guitar in their profile or something. I'll stop and look at their stuff to see if they got any
right,
music, and I'll listen to a song or two usually, and I know if they're good or not. I can usually
right,
tell. I just have, I'm not an expert, but I've been around rock and roll a lot, for
yeah,
sure. And um, I'm getting lucky. I got the president of the Cascade Blues Association, which is like one of the biggest blues associations in America.
mm,
It's a guy who he's the president of that. He's a judge at the International Blues Festival every
mm,
year in Nashville, and he's a cool cat. He goes, I'm glad you're doing this because nobody's coming out looking for us, really,
right.
and I go searching for it. I put the work in, and it's paid off. I'm not with
Yeah.
viewers yet as much, but I'm bound to get more viewers. If I get the guest,
I'll say this, you know, I was just telling my wife, like, the people who say things like, seeing is believing, that's not my target audience.
right, right,
And
right,
because I try to operate on like a higher way of thinking. I
mm-hmm.
don't just operate off of what's tangible.
Right,
There, like, I believe opportunities are vast,
yep,
right? They're not just limited to what you can
not at
see.
all, not at
And
all.
so it doesn't matter if the timeline in which you have this massive
Right,
following
right,
is present now. You're
right.
on your route there.
I'm
You
on
know
the
what I'm
road.
saying?
I'm on the right
And
path.
so like in quantum physics is like certain things have to line up, right?
Right,
You're lining it up.
yeah,
And you never know which one of your guests might bring that trove of followers to
right,
your channel. And
right,
then
right.
boom, now you got a top tier A-rated show and you've been
Exactly,
doing this for a
exactly.
while now. So it's like,
Yeah. I'm getting it. I should have done more research when I started it. That's for damn sure. I had the idea and I was fishing around for subject matter for it, and
So my wife's like super uptight right now. She's like,
that's cool. She can be noisy.
I know.
It's her house, god damn it. It's her house. She can do whatever she wants in her house. That's the way I look,
I just wanted you to say it because I don't know how to tell her. Like, it's not that deep.
It's her house. I even know that.
No, we're a professional household. So my
That's
wife, she's
cool.
an acting coach,
That's
and
cool.
she's a screenwriter, and she's
Right on.
working to be a director. So like, we're really, we take the industry stuff seriously.
That's cool.
Um, and that's why we had that conversation earlier because I'm
Right.
like I know what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
I
Right. Well,
and
it
this is why.
sounds like it. You just from talking to you a little bit on the phone and here so far, you got your path. You know what you got to do. You
Yeah.
know, of course, life will happen during that, and you'll figure it out. How to adjust. But that's just the way it is. Constant
Right.
change is the only constant in life. Is
Right.
change.
That's it.
You got to
That's the only
adjust and shit.
constant. And
As long
there's
as
no
there's some
such
good
thing
rock
as
and roll
being
music
ready.
playing in the background, that's the main
And
thing.
there's literally no such thing as being ready. Like you just
No,
start.
no, not at all.
Like it's like parenting, right? Like there's no handbook. They used to tell us in the hospital,
No,
there's no handbook. So like you
no.
just kind of have to figure it out as you go along.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly. You know,
Okay.
but music is it's powerful stuff, and like
Yeah.
like I just wanted to do this podcast.
Mhm.
Now I talked to a couple of my friends today, and we're working on building like a production company type thing, have like
Nice.
all sorts of shit going on with it, and it's in my grasp now. you know 5 years ago, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy, dude. But now it's like I'm thinking about making a movie, because my friend did. He made this
Nice.
little mockumentary, and it's pretty good. But I've been talking to a lot of Portland people, and I'm thinking about doing a little movie on the history of the rock in Portland, because it's
Mm.
it's a pretty cool group of people who are doing this shit up there, and it's all within grasp. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm going to make any money at it, but I'm going to have fun. I'm going to meet rock stars.
Well, we pursue purpose, not
Yeah,
profit, my
that's
friend.
right. That's
We
right.
pursue purpose,
That's
not
right.
profit. And that is like every single billionaire or millionaire, they didn't start trying, I mean, except the sleazy ones. But
Right.
like the good ones, they didn't
Right.
start trying to do it because they wanted to make a certain amount of money.
Right.
They started doing it because that was the one thing they were passionate about. Like
Right.
if I could do one thing and money wasn't a factor, I would fucking make rock and roll music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so because I'm doing that, I know I'm gonna be successful in that. And so it's not about how much money you make. Like,
No, not at all.
compensation could be of many different ways.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Having a
Exactly.
wonderful conversation with somebody, getting
That's
your
where
face
it's
out there,
at.
having people hear your story, that can be a form of compensation. You just never
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. Exactly. I just know I'm having fun,
Yeah.
and I get to meet rock stars. I get to find some new music that's incredible. Like, there's this thing going on in the South that's crazy. It's honky tonk heavy metal. And it's like, holy shit, it's some of the best. It's like my entrance music. It, you know, all this shit is my entrance music. It's crazy, but it's good. Like, look up Scattered Hamlet and Allborn.
Scattered
Scattered
Hamlet.
Hamlet, those guys are great. They're toxic masculinity is their term, kind of. And Allborn, they're doing like thrash metal with a fucking banjo in it,
Oh
and it's like,
wow.
holy shit. But
I see Scattered Hamlet.
Scattered Hamlet's cool. I had them on, and unfortunately he had something open on his end, so it echoed the whole time, and it's like, I tried to fix it and I can't fix it,
Oh man.
which sucked. But he's coming on again though. But I'm finding a lot of good music out there.
Yeah.
Stuff that a girl named Daphne. She's got a band called Daphne and the Mystery Machines, which is Scooby Doo. And I went, that's a
Right.
cool name. And
That's
I looked
fucking
her up, and
awesome.
she's like Alison Krauss, kind of that soft bluegrass shit.
Mhm.
But she's got the most amazing voice I've ever heard. And
Wow.
it's like, I was just going to do this hard rock and heavy metal, this show. But God's showing me different things, different genres,
Yeah.
and I can't
Yeah.
I can't close the door on it because they're good,
Right. Yeah.
So
I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's crazy
I'm
that
just
you say
having
that
fun.
too, because we were in New York a couple days ago, to celebrate my birthday. We went to the
Hmm.
Hard Rock, and I saw in there, I got to see like some famous musicians' instruments, but
Right.
also I saw Beyonce's like one of her outfits,
Uh-huh.
and like it made me think about the whole state of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well, like how
Right.
now being a rock star is not just unique to just the rock genre.
Right.
Now, granted, I still keep it true,
Right.
traditional,
Right.
but I just think now a rock star is a musician, a
Right.
music artist
Sure.
that can inspire even generations of the up and
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
ones,
totally. Totally.
And so, when you look at it that way, it isn't confined to any one genre.
Right. Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
started out making hip hop beats, and some of my favorite, some of people's favorite songs are songs that I turned from a hip hop beat
Right.
into a rock and roll
That's
track.
cool shit. Yeah, I like
So like
that stuff.
Impending War. Impending
Right.
War was a hip hop beat that I made called Ready for War. Now like
Right.
I wrote a rap to it, but
Right.
I was like, nah, this is not the next Drake. This shit is trash.
Right.
And so the music, I'm like, I wonder how it would sound if I played it on my guitar. And then I came up with Impending War and it sounds amazing. And I'm
See,
like,
and I've all, like rap and hip hop, I'm learning about it,
mm,
and I know they use samples and stuff, and that's just like a musical instrument in itself.
right.
I'm fully respectful of it, the whole 9 yards. But if they're touring, I think they should have a real band, and they would fucking
I
sound
do
fucking
too.
wicked cool, wicked cool.
I do
Snoop
too,
Dogg with some like
especially,
Kerry King
yes.
playing guitar for him the whole time.
Right.
I
Yeah.
saw Beastie Boys and Run DMC in '84
Mm,
when I was a kid, and that was like a huge deal, especially Beastie Boys, and that was an incredible show. I was definitely in the minority at that show, and it was cool though. It was like I was watching everybody, and it was heavy shit, considering it's rap, and people don't consider it heavy, but it can get heavy, everything can get heavy, and it was like
yeah.
killer shit,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
that's how they toured. Beastie Boys, they were just a punk group from New York, is
Right.
what they were, and they show it in their live shows for sure. It was incredible, great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I love the. I mean, I really love the music from back then. And don't get me wrong, I like the music from today too. But I feel like a lot of the heavier stuff
Right,
is not like melodic enough. Like sometimes when I listen to music, I want to be transported. I want to go on a
right,
journey to
right,
another location,
totally.
right? And so like it's yes, I like the heavy stuff, but you got to kind of build up to that, right? Like
Right, right,
I need to feel like I'm taking a trip down to the depths of hell. Like I can't
right,
just like
right,
turn it on and then
totally.
I turn it on and I'm in
You got to
hell.
take
Like
the
I got
ride, start the ride first to
you
get
got to
there.
start the ride,
Right?
right? And
Exactly.
that requires a degree of like, all right. So one example, Opeth, Ghost of Perdition,
Okay.
perfect example.
Right.
Heavy as hell,
Right.
or even uh Queensryche, Silent Lucidity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Heavy stuff,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's still melodic as
Yeah.
hell, right?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I love that type of shit,
Yeah.
man.
I
Love
was
it.
I was raised on that shit. I remember when they used to call Pearl Jam. You know what Pearl Jam's real name was?
No, what was their real name?
Mookie Blaylock.
A Mookie Blaylock.
He was a basketball player for Atlanta Hawks and I think the New Jersey Nets.
Oh shit.
And Jeff Ament, their bass player, is an NBA fan, a big time NBA fan. So he named him
Wow.
that. But they were going to get sued by the NBA for using his name because technically the NBA owns the name once you're in the league and shit in a
Right, right,
sense.
right.
So, but yeah, that's one of the coolest pieces of trivia I ever heard. That
That's
I remember
crazy.
them saying that on KISW out of Seattle and shit. And Mookie Blaylock with even flow. It's like weird, but
Who the
cool.
fuck is Mookie Blaylock? That's
And
insane. That's
you learned something
that's
today,
crazy because I really love Pearl Jam too. Even
right?
Flow is my favorite song by
Right.
them. Um,
Yeah, they were Mookie Blaylock when the radio station was first announcing them.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Damn. You know what's crazy? So I have a friend who goes by Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Goth Father. He's
Uh-huh.
super cool, great guy. He tells me crazy stories all the time. So one of the stories he told me was at one point his band, which was called the Black Dahlia,
I've heard of that man.
not the Black Dahlia murder.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
So,
okay. Then I
because then
haven't
that
heard of
band
him.
came later, but so his band was called the Black Dahlia, and they had like a real grungy kind of sound,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he has a friend who goes up to New York, and he's like, I think it was Seattle actually. He was like, "Yo, there's this band up there that sound exactly like you guys. Guess what the name of the band was?
What?
Alice in Chains."
Oh,
I'm just like, "Yo, hold on." So you had the Alice in Chains sounds before they even made it? That's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
There's some crazy stories out there,
Here's some
man.
history though too to go along with that. You need to look up a band called Culprit.
Culprit.
And
I've heard of
Culprit.
them before.
Culprit, these guys are up there with fucking Kiss with me. You know, they were an important band. They and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains both named that band as one of their major influences. And this is before the Seattle sound, the grunge stuff happened, and
Mm.
he's a cool cat. His name's Scott Earl is the bassist for him, and I I I think I scared him off from my show because I went all fan. I go fanboy every once in a while, you know. With
I'm
certain
cracking
people,
up.
I go fucking nuts and start gushing shit, you know, and it's
Let
bad.
me
But
ask you, are you based in Seattle?
no, I'm in Warrenton, Oregon. It's
Okay,
right at the
okay,
mouth
okay.
of the Columbia there,
Got
about
you,
an
got you.
hour and a half from Portland.
I've always wanted to go to Seattle when I was traveling the country. Because there was a time when I left Philly and I'm like, you know what? I got to get the hell out of here. And I
Right,
just got to go and experience a journey,
right.
a rock and roll journey. You know, the first place I went was Miami. I was
Mm-hmm.
there for like a year. Then I went to where did I go? Where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is at Cleveland,
Cleveland,
Ohio.
Cleveland.
I was there for like 2 months because it was too damn cold.
Right.
Went down south to Atlanta. I was there for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. From there, I went to New Orleans, even though I wanted to go to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And from New Orleans, I went straight to LA, even though I wanted to go to Seattle. So, like,
Right.
Nashville and Seattle are two places that I never got the chance to go.
Yeah, those Nashville's definitely the place to go. I know that. I want to go there
Yeah,
one of these days, you know, for
yeah.
sure. But Seattle's got a good sound. You know, Spokane had a
Hmm.
real good sound for a minute there. I lived up in Sandpoint, Idaho for like 6 years, and I would go to Spokane once a month. Me and my girl would,
Mm.
and go see a show. You know, and most of it, I was winning a lot of shows from the radio station and stuff, and so we got to see a lot of shows. But they had a show called Too Broke to Rock up there,
Too
and it
broke
was
to
a
rock.
yeah, it was like they did over 53 shows, and they'd bring people in like Greta Van Fleet came in, Glorious Sons. I seen probably some of the best music I've ever seen were at those shows, and the DJ put them on, and they were free. You know, you
Mm.
called in the radio station to win tickets or met the swag wagon somewhere and get tickets, and real popular shows. You know, he stopped them for a minute, and then like a year later, he was getting so many letters from bands saying, "Hey, we want to come out there and do that," you know, because it was obviously a good stepping stone for a lot of them, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
And great music from there. Great music.
It was crazy. So I was in like this other I did this other interview with some guy I met on Instagram. He has like this massive company where like he interviews people pretty much every
Mm-hmm.
week. We did an interview and then they reviewed my song, but I had my song played live during one of his live broadcasts. And JT Lux,
I've heard that name.
I never knew who he was until his dad entered the chat, and his dad like heard my song "All
Mm-hmm.
Is Lost," which is the first song on Ascension. Actually, I was supposed to send that to you.
That's
Um, but yeah, so he heard the song and he immediately started telling me about this studio in Nashville that I need to go out there and check
that's
out.
cool. That's
So I think
cool.
I'm going to be making a trip out there this week for sure.
That's cool.
Not
That's
this week,
cool.
this year for sure. Maybe
That's a
during the
good
summertime.
opportunity. That's a good opportunity. That's the new hotbed for music anyway. You know, that's where a lot of stuff is coming out from, you know, or people are using Nashville people, you know, for their stuff. Or my buddy Jesse, he just sent a song out there and they gave it a Nashville polish to it. And it sounds great. I like his
Mm.
original version better. It's too commercially, it sounds like to me personally, but I'm not a big fan of I listen to radio because
Uh-huh.
that's where it came from, you know, to
Right,
me a
right.
little bit. I like the commercials in there because that's time to go get something to eat real quick or whatever, you know, rather than like listening to Sirius XM or something, you know. But um, I get tired of if the band is too many songs are out there on the radio that they're playing. I'll get sick of a band real fast. It don't matter how good you are.
Mm.
Shine Down, I love Shine Down, but every song is a
I love Shine
hit
Down.
single, you know, too, you know, and but
That's
I'm
crazy.
learning, you
So,
know, I've been doing some podcasting shit, you know, listening to different people on here and
mhm,
just, you know, it's fun searching for the music, you know.
right.
The thank you box name came from me and my cousin would go get school clothes. My aunt and my mom would take us up to Portland when we were kids, and we'd go to the Sizzler for a treat, a steak
Mhm.
lunch and shit, tiny steak about that big, but it is still, but the first thing me and my cousin would do was go in, fake sneeze in the salad bar every time,
Mm.
and just make comedy about stuff. And the thank you box was the garbage can outside that Sizzler. And I've over the
You
years,
said it was a garbage can.
it
What do you mean?
was that said thank you on the lid, so we made comedy about it. But as I've grown older and was looking for a name, and the thank you box came to my head again. And it's like, back in the day, they considered rock and roll trash or the devil's music or whatever. Well, the one thing I know, in every bit of trash, there's a treasure somewhere, and I guess that's my job. I turned my friends on to good music when I was younger, and all my life, really, I found good music and turned them on to it. And I'm just doing the same thing there, just rooting through the garbage can, I guess. But, I'm finding some great people, some really great people. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah, I'm actually very grateful that you asked me to come on here.
I
I think,
appreciate you coming on for sure.
yeah, no
You
worries.
know,
I think that you found my music because I was promoting Ascension. I don't know if it was the song or if it was if I don't know if it was the song Ascension or if it was the preview of all my upcoming albums, but I had like two main
right,
posts going.
right.
Um, because this year is going to be pretty busy. My goal is to get my music on my local station.
This is my
Um,
buddy Vince. He's
How you
gonna
ah,
doing?
be
nice to meet you,
co-host. This is
Vince.
Nathan.
Hey, Nathan,
Nice
how
to
you
meet
doing?
you.
But
Yeah, so I think my goal is to get my music on the radio, right? So I understand there's a certain way I have to do that.
sure,
I got to get
sure,
together my EPK so I can submit it to them. So like
right,
prior to submitting my music for radio broadcast, like I got to do some live performances
right,
here. So I've got some stuff set up this year. Like I'm just going kind of going all in this year. I
right.
was working at the DA's office and I'm like, you know what? This blue collar shit ain't working out. Like it's like draining all my mental energy. Like I
I
would
get
come
it.
home every day. I wouldn't barely have any time to spend with my family.
Right,
I wouldn't have any energy left to play guitar. My guitars were collecting dust at one point,
right,
and it broke
right.
my heart. I was like, no,
That's not the way it's supposed to be.
no, man.
Right
So like ever since then, I think that was November. I just been going hard, I just
on,
been just like any chance I get, I try to work on my music. You know what I'm
right on.
saying? And I'm not really with the whole overly polished sound either. Um, and that really frustrates me when people listen to my music and they're like, "Oh, if you just get it mixed." Like, damn, can you just listen to it for what it is? You know what I'm saying? Can you just hear it for the art
Oh
before
yeah,
you tell me
Yeah.
that it need the studio production? I know, but like I'm not asking you, oh, does it
Yeah. Listen
sound
to
like
the
the
song.
yes, listen to the
Listen to the
song. Like,
song. You can tell it's there. You
yeah.
can tell it's
yes,
there
that's
or
all I
not,
want to know.
Yep.
Yeah, so like, but like, yeah, man, I fucking love rock and roll.
I
That's
do
my
too. It's what
shit.
makes my world go round. I know that.
Yeah.
I get to have Kiss in my fucking studio every day.
It's crazy that so the guitar I showed you, there's a story behind that guitar. When me and my wife were living in LA, this is before we got married. Um, I think it was my 28th birthday. She
Mhm.
found this red, it was all red with black bezels on the end,
Right,
and it was just the coolest looking guitar. It's the Apocalypse guitar, but the colors were inverted, and
right.
it had alien head
Oh,
fretboards,
that's
like
cool.
fret markers. And it was the coolest thing. It was the coolest guitar that I ever had. But my dumb ass, I pawned it
You're right.
and I was never able to find that specific color again. So I went out and I got the original one, which is black and red.
Right on.
It's black with red bezels. And I'm glad I did that because the one I have here is actually signed by Paul Stanley.
Yeah, I know
So
that's
it's kind of
badass,
like
dude.
it's my
That's so
little,
cool.
yeah,
That's
it's
way
my little
cool.
collectible,
I
you
got a
know.
buddy in Gearhart, which is near about 20 minutes away. He was in a band called Bexy Strut way back like 10, 15 years ago out of LA. And he's probably the biggest kiss nut I know personally. He's got stuff, he wears Ace's fucking spacesuit every year for Halloween. And it's fucking concert worn, it's the real deal. He's
Okay.
got jeans, dragon boots, all sorts of shit. I'm going, and he hasn't let me come over yet because he knows I'm going to want to play with everything, and stuff. But
Hey, speaking of Kiss, what do you think about Vinnie Vincent selling his album for 2 million. That's fucking insane, right?
A little bit.
I kind of went into a tangent of like binge watching all these Vinnie Vincent videos,
Right.
because I'm just like, I
He
need
was
to know.
good. He's very technical, especially for back then. He's really, still in the rock and roll more the rock and roll format instead of like Yngwie Malmsteen stuff.
Right,
He
right.
he was good, but he became a weirdo, and
Yeah, I've heard some crazy things about him. Like some
like
people
he's
would say
got
like
boobs and I
he's like
think he wears
Malmsteen
high
and
heels and stuff,
yeah.
and to each their own. As long as it's not invading my bubble,
Right.
I can't really say nothing. But come on, dude, you're a weirdo now.
2 million
I
is
know
just
that's crazy.
insane.
That
It's just
he's
like, and
trying
then
to fucking yank on Kiss's fucking
right. And like I feel like
computer.
we did hear some samples and previews of some of the songs or whatever. My thing is, I was just talking to you about like melody,
Right, right,
right? It's not always about how technical you can play.
right.
Yeah, I know,
Because
right.
someone who can't play technical at all can still have more soul
Oh, fuck yeah.
than someone who's just and
Exactly.
it's just like that's all I heard when I heard the music from that album. It
Right.
was just like, where is it going? Even his famous 25-minute performance. I watched that and I'm like, first of all, your situational awareness was not that great because like
Right,
everyone else left the stage. How did you not realize
right,
that you were pretty much having your own concert at this point?
right,
Number one. Number two, he was just doing all technical stuff. It wasn't really a song. It
No,
wasn't
so
like,
it's a scale. You're
yeah,
yeah,
playing a
that's
scale.
it.
Very good.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Like, okay.
I
You
was
can
just like,
play a
this is what
scale
you want someone to
fast.
pay 2
Yeah,
million
it's like,
for? This is insane.
it
right.
takes
Man,
more talent to write a good song with 3 chords than it does to
yes,
just take scale out all
a
day like
hundred
that, you
percent.
know?
A
It's
100%. Yeah, and
absolutely
this is why I was telling you before. Like I put all my emphasis on when I was teaching myself to play.
Right,
I put more emphasis on taking the melodies that were inside of me already
right,
out
right,
and putting them on the guitar than trying to be the most technical guitar player.
right,
Like I'm
yeah.
getting there now,
right,
but because I made the foundation of my music journey melody,
right,
all the technical stuff comes with melody. You know what
right,
I'm saying? I
right,
didn't just, oh, let me learn guitar and just learn scales. Cause
right,
and I try to tell my buddy too, like Vinny, he wanted to start a band. And I'm like, well, we need creators, not just musicians. Because if you ask me to play someone else's song, I can't. Because
right,
I only know how to play my own music.
right,
Not that I don't love their music, but I didn't spend the foundation of my
right.
journey learning other people's songs. I
Exactly.
spent the foundation making music. So
Right,
if you want to start a band and you want us to be a team, so we all pour into the same song,
right,
we need other creators. We need a bass player who can come up with a bass line,
right,
not just recreate one, right?
right, right.
And same
Absolutely.
thing with the drummer. Like that's what essentially what
Unless
a
you're going
band
to be a
is.
cover band, and obviously you're not doing being a cover band, because you ain't
I got
covering
shit to
nobody.
say.
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know? So I was explaining to him, like, yeah, like the reason why we don't have a band is because I'm a creator,
Right,
right? I can create guitar riffs in accordance to what you're talking about and
mhm,
overall feel. But like, do we have a bass player that can do that? Do we have a drummer that can do that?
right,
Or are they just going to take what they learned from covering other people's songs and slap it onto our songs? Because
right,
that's not what we want.
Copy
We
right.
want
paste
originality.
musicians.
Yeah,
Copy
That's a
and paste.
difference.
Yeah.
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 So yeah,
that's
man.
cool.
Yeah, there's a big difference between an artist and a musician. Sounds like you're striving to be the artist, which is how to be.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
actually create the stuff. You don't just mimic others.
Right.
Like a guitar is a musician's instrument. A musician is an artist's instrument. I
right.
like to say
Right.
it that way, you know.
I like that.
All
That's really clever. Yeah, I like that. I'm probably gonna
Thank you.
use that if you don't mind.
Right, take it, spread it around.
But yeah, I was explaining this to him, and I'm like, because I've met a lot of musicians in my life, but like when I listen to their songs, and like they probably try to figure out like, well, why is this going viral, or why am I not the next sensation? And I try to explain like, well, music is a universal language. Like, what are you saying to people?
Yep.
It's not just enough anymore to hear that someone knows how to play it.
Right.
What, like it's like me saying, hey, I know how to write.
Right.
okay, but what am I writing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What am I
Exactly.
writing? Because like just knowing how to write is not enough. I
Exactly.
have to be able to tell a story. I have to be able to
Exactly.
compel you to read what I'm writing, you know?
Right.
Good analogy.
Right. Exactly.
Nobody reads a book because the guy could write it real fast. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
What's the content?
Exactly.
And
So
I think a lot of people forget music is emotion through sound. It's not fast
right,
scales. So you
right.
got to capture that emotion, or it's,
Exactly.
to me, you got to capture something. You got to
Yeah,
capture something real.
100%.
Heck yeah.
100%. So I have a song with Vinny called Branch Off. His buddy sent me a loop and he said, "Hey, see if you can put some guitars on it." And me and my wife, you know, she's a Gemini, I'm an Aries, so we clash sometimes. We weren't having the greatest of
Fellow
night.
Aries.
So, huh?
Fellow
You're
Aries right here.
you fellow Aries,
April
okay.
16, man.
April 16th,
Yeah.
March 29th.
Oh, cool,
I,
dude.
I actually just turned 35, so
Right
yeah.
on.
Um, but yeah, we were like, you know, we were having our little fire and wind thing or whatever. And I took that opportunity to work on that loop. And because of the emotions that I was feeling, the song came out great. Now, granted, I like something a little heavier, something a little
Right.
more magical, but the song sounds amazing. And like they were calling me like, yeah, oh my God, this song. And I'm like, to me, it wasn't a big deal because it was just an opportunity to vent
Right. Right.
via guitar, you know.
Right.
But like, I think the song turned out really well because it was raw. I was pissed,
Exactly.
you know. I was
Yeah.
going through it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Like I'm really like putting that into the music, you know.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Right on. So, who are you listening to right now? Do you got anybody you listen to besides your own stuff? You know,
So
because I
man,
like playlists and shit like that.
yeah,
My whole life is a soundtrack, and I can look back at a time, whatever time, and boom, the appropriate song comes up. You know, for whatever,
right.
and so I like playlists and shit. I was just curious, who's on your playlist?
So right now, I kind of refined my playlist because I had like thousands of songs, like
Mm-hmm.
all ranging from rock
Sure.
to metal to blues to hip hop to R&B, and it was kind of hard for me to find the songs that I wanted to listen to. So I kind of just deleted everything and just kind of, you know, refined it to like my cores,
Mm-hmm.
which is Children of Bodom,
Okay.
a lot of Ozzy, you know, got some Led Zeppelin in there. Um, I got Living Color.
Right on.
I got Trivium.
Trivium's awesome. Those guys are
Those are my
fucking
guys.
wicked cool.
Those are my guys.
Right
Avenged Sevenfold
on.
and Ad Infinitum.
Okay.
Now, I do have a secondary playlist that's like more so vocalist. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
guitar stuff.
Right.
So we got Angel Vivaldi,
Okay.
Joe Satriani, Buckethead,
Right
Steve
on.
Vai.
Right on.
Those are my guitar
That's
guys.
cool. That's
So,
cool.
you know, but I also have another playlist for just like deep sleep and like when I want to just kind of do like a mental cleanse. I listen
Right.
to like ambient, like 444 hertz music, a lot of
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um, because energy is real, man. And like, you know, you let
Will.
certain types of people around you, they will fuck you up.
Yeah, he will.
And
I
here's the
know.
thing, you don't realize you're getting messed up until all after the fact, and then you gotta pick up the pieces. It's
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
having a
yeah.
house party with invisible
That
guests.
Benfield life story right there. All that. I get
It's like
it.
I'm having a house party with invisible guests. I can't see them while they're making a mess. But then you know, I might be sleeping or something. They're having a
Right.
good time.
Oh
I
yeah.
wake up, now the house is a mess. I gotta clean it. So I've been like very, very serious about protecting my space. Like you mentioned the bubble
Totally.
earlier.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
And like, you know, music is frequency as well. So like what
Mhm.
goes in is important. And so like
Mhm.
everything is tailored in my life. What I
Mhm.
watch, what
Right.
I eat, what I'm
Mhm.
seeing on social media, what type
Right.
of advertisements come up. Like if I don't want to see it, I'm quick to click the not interested.
Right.
And
Oh
so
yeah,
like
totally, totally,
a lot
totally.
of people be like, "Oh, why aren't you following me back?" And it's like, how do you tell them I'm not into what you're posting?
All right.
I don't want to subscribe to that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I don't have any issue with who, you know, who may or may not subscribe to me because I'm not like trying to get any validation. But I, you know, I say that just to kind of say that I really just I believe a tailored experience is the best way to stay safe these days because we got
Oh, yeah,
content coming at us from every
for
direction.
sure, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? At one point, I was getting on my Facebook and I just see like half naked chicks. And like my wife would be sitting next to me and she's like, "Oh, this is what you're looking at." And I'm just like, "Man, I don't know where this shit's coming from."
Right,
Like,
right.
so like, I had to do a friendless sweep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But with the music, it's really important because like if I want to feel creative, I have to listen to what makes me want to create.
right,
Right? Like I know a lot of artists and they're like, "Yeah, stream my song." I'll stream it, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee like I'll download it and have it on my phone.
right,
Because then
right,
if I'm trying to be in a rock and roll mood and then
right,
this hip hop song comes on,
right. It's gonna
that
screw it
knocks
up.
off exactly. So yeah.
Totally, totally. I get that. Um, so you're gonna go to Nashville at some
At some
point.
point, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
That I think it's East Irish Studios is the
Uh-huh.
name of the place.
Okay. Right
Yeah.
on. Right
I
on.
gotta see, if I'm cool enough to go
You
record
probably
there.
are. You probably are. You know,
Yeah, I wear my hat.
that's
This
Pretty
is
cool.
cool.
this is authentic Australian leather.
That's
Is
cool.
there a lot of metal in Nashville?
No, he's in Philadelphia though.
Yeah, oh, he's going
No,
to.
no, but JT Lux's dad told me that I should probably go out there and record.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
Cool.
see. At some point I will make and I've always wanted to go there,
It's the place to
It was
go.
one of the places that I wasn't able to make it to, but
Right.
man, I would love to go out there, just to kind of just to see the music
Just to
scene.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's all music.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's crazy because, I mean, Philly has its own little metal scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm kind of like how do I put it? I'm like a black sheep. I like to think like I'm usually like on the outside of where the crowd is. Like
Right.
I'm present, but I'm not like in the mix.
Right.
Like
Right.
if the mosh pit is right here, I'm like right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so like even though there's a metal scene, I'm not like technically a part of it. Like I guess I could be classified as a member since I make metal,
Right.
but I'm not like an official part of the metal scene here.
Right.
And so, as I was mentioning earlier, my goal is to kind of change that because, my wife used to always say like if she believes that if you can conquer your own city, you can conquer anywhere.
True.
And seeing as though Philly isn't like the biggest metal place, if I
Right.
can make a name for myself here, then that'll work wonders for me
Oh,
in
yeah.
other places.
Oh yeah. Totally. Totally.
So
That's like down here. My goal with this, my mission behind this podcast thing is to bring some regular shows to my area because it's the coast. It's a tourist area, tourist season. There's lots of tourists here, and it's a perfect place to have some music.
right.
There's a lot of old people around. I'm not saying they're old, but old families, who kind of run the stuff like everywhere else in America. Trying to get past some of them, but I've got a county commissioner who I went to school with who's all for what I'm doing, so I'm getting the logistics and the stuff I have to do, for that. And, but it's trying to, there's not a lot of people into that type of thing per se,
Right.
and so to find a place to have it but I think I got a place out in the boonies a little bit, which will be cool. Have more of like a festival type thing, maybe.
Hey man,
I
if
don't
you
know.
end up having a festival,
Yeah, I will be
send me
asking
an
you. I'll be
invite.
talking to you, dude. I will invite you. I promise you that. I will invite all my friends, who I met, because one of them bound to pick it up, and
Yeah.
so, but it's just, it's fun. Rock and roll is what makes me feel young because I am getting a little old, and I don't care for that process at all. It's a suck ass process. I'm telling you, it sucks.
Come on, knee pain rules.
but it's rock and roll. It gets me going. I feel like a kid again, and it's just fun. Like I saw Black Label Society on my birthday, my 49th birthday in
Man,
Portland.
Zach is the man.
Corrosion of Conformity opened, and
Yeah.
it was an awesome show. And like Zach starts up and like 10 minutes into a set, I happen to look to my right and there's this old man tapping his toe, to the music. And I look and then because I'd smoked a little weed that night, so I was a little above the clouds a little bit, and
A little ascended.
exactly. I had an ascension. There you go. There's your little clip right there. Use it. But I see, and it's Pepper Keenan, the singer from Corrosion. And I went, I'm not. I let people know I'm around, but I'm not the type of guy who just goes up. This is all new shit to me, doing this, because I don't normally do that. I don't just go up to somebody and, or like write a letter to somebody on Facebook. Hey, be on my podcast, blah, blah, blah. It's, I'm not used to stuff like that, doing that, and so I've just been doing it, and I don't know. I lost my train of thought on that. I lost my
You were
tangent
going
on
to talk
that.
to you approached Pepper.
Oh yeah, I approached Pepper and I go, held out my hand. I go, thanks for being my house band for my birthday party tonight. And he kind of snickered at me. So that was my end, And we talked for like 15 minutes, and I'm learning that everybody's real people. Rock stars, they're real people. They may be in the spotlight a little bit more or whatever it is, but they're real people. They do real shit. Most of them, at least that I've talked to, they got real jobs, that they're doing. They're not fully, with music money, living off of it. They got to go to work every day, still. And and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a rock star, someone who can control both of those fucking arenas a little bit,
Right.
That's pretty cool, but
I agree. I totally agree. It's crazy too, because the song that really did the best once I was leaving the DA's office. Now, granted,
what do you do in the DA's office?
I was in victim services. So
Okay.
like what I was doing was difficult already.
Right.
Because
right.
I was taking on like trauma.
Oh yeah.
They were relying on me a lot, like asking me to do press conferences. Like I fucking did press conferences and I gotta talk about why this person died and shit. And then like it was a lot.
That'd be heavy. That'd be heavy for sure.
Heavier than fucking a drop C, like too damn
No
heavy.
shit.
Like all
That's
I
a
want to
good
do
one.
is come home and go to sleep.
That'll be on a reel that I put out. I'm just like, that'll be perfect. Heavier than a drop C.
That is like I'm like holy shit, I couldn't do it anymore, but like I'm surviving off my pension money right now. It's pretty good, but I will be going back to work soon.
Right.
Because I just kind of wanted to get the ball rolling a little bit with my music career, And I'm not the type of person who like searches for like quick instant gratification. Like I know I'm playing a long game,
Right.
Like I know
it's going to take some work.
I'm trying to build longevity. Like I can't, and even though he's not one of my guitar inspirations, he's my number one rock inspiration, which is Lenny Kravitz.
Right on.
Like so even I have a lot of songs by him that I love.
Right.
But his overall style, how he carry himself, how he do the whole thing himself, he do the drums, the piano, all that. I like to think that at some point, when he's all done, he can pass the torch to yours truly.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
Why
saying?
not?
And maybe I'm just a little bit heavier than he is, like with my riffs and whatnot. But yeah, that's my end goal, and that's not something that's.
Have you met him?
No, I had an opportunity to meet him when I was in LA, but I'm, I have some famous friends, and so like they kind of taught me how not to position myself as a fan. And back then I was.
See, that's my problem. I'm total fanboy, dude. I would start gushing right there on certain,
Back then that would have been the case. So I elected to not until I was like. Cool. Until I felt like I could address him as an equal, right? Because I want him to take me seriously,
Totally,
I don't want him to feel like, oh, here's just a fan,
Right.
I want him to feel like, oh, this guy, he gets where he's going. Right. And
when I met Gene Simmons, I said all I could get out was, "Thank you for the music. I love you." That's all I could get out. And he looked at me funny, but it was like I just shrugged my shoulders. That's all I got. But he,
Yep,
I've
cracking
learned
up.
over the years since I've become an adult, he's a good role model.
Yeah.
He is very business oriented and he's got his shit down to a T, down perfect, and he's a great role model, in that sense,
Except for sticking out that tongue all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, things vulgar.
Even on the poster behind you.
Right, I know.
I love it.
So I did get to meet Corey Taylor
How's
and
that?
Vincent Reed from Living Color when I
You
was
met
working.
Vincent?
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
was
I
working for
bet that
Live
was cool
Nation.
as fuck, dude.
Yeah, it was.
I remember when that came out and that fucking opening riff to I'm going, what the fuck is that?
And look, man,
And
I'm from the hood, right? So
Yeah.
I grew up in the hood. I grew up around like rap and shit like that.
Mhm.
And like all my life, it was just like, oh, you're listening to white people's music. But I just knew that music doesn't matter where you're fucking from.
No, I don't.
And get this,
Don't.
I also know that Rosetta Tharpe is technically the first rock star. She was in the church choir. She decided to plug her guitar into an amp.
Yep.
So how can you say it's white people's music or
Yeah,
black people's music?
exactly.
It's fucking rock and roll.
It's
It doesn't
music.
matter, right? But it really helped me when I saw them. When I
Oh,
saw an all black band kicking ass like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is what MMR was playing every single day, and I didn't even know who these guys were.
Yeah.
And
Those
so I
guys
got
are
the chance to meet
gods.
them.
They're gods. I
Yes,
love those guys.
yeah, I got the chance to meet Corey, and I'm
He's the
like,
closest thing I think that's happened. Jimi Hendrix, close to Jimi Hendrix in that mental thing, because he's all over the map on that guitar. He's doing
yeah,
crazy cuckoo shit,
yeah,
and it works.
Musically
yeah,
tasteful at the
Very,
same time.
very.
right. And when I met Corey, I was working at Live Nation in the catering hall, right? So like serving guests, serving food to like the celebrities and
Sure.
whatnot. And I remember, I'll never forget, I think this was 2023. He had this bright orange hair. It was at the BB&T Pavilion, which is now called the Freedom Mortgage Theater in Jersey,
Right.
for the WMMR barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
They do it every year. And Corey was coming out. I'm like, I'm just waiting for my opportunity. I had to get myself I had to calm myself down because these guys inspired me to like. I thought I was wearing my shirt. I thought I was wearing the Living Color shirt. Like they inspired me. They gave me the confidence to fully go dive into rock and roll because again, I was in an environment where it was like, you can't do this shit. You need to be a rapper. You need to da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I can rap, I can rhyme, but that's not what I want to do. I want to fucking play guitar. I want to rock out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then I heard of them, and I was obsessed. So when I found out he was performing before Disturbed was performing, who's another one of my bands, I had to kind of collect myself.
Right.
So when I met him, I told him like, listen, you inspired me all through foster care. You and your band are the reason why I'm going to become a rock star, and we will meet again. And I said that to him.
Right on, dude.
So,
Right on, dude. That's
so
cool.
he's
shit.
going to
That's
see
good
me
shit.
again, and I'm
He's
going to be like,
gonna.
remember I told you.
Right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Totally.
yeah, rock and roll is just great, man.
It is. Have you heard of Rawway, the band Rawway? They're from New Jersey. Check them
No.
out. Those guys, Nick Haid is the singer for him. He's got this, he's a skinny guy with a big old tall mohawk. They're
Rawway?
good. Rawway, Rahway.
Rahway.
Because he's close to your neck of the woods somewhere in there. He's a cool cat. But
yeah, I see them. I'm gonna check them out. Oh, he got a blue mohawk. Yeah, they look cool as shit. Actually.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're definitely cool.
I used to have a red mohawk before I decided to grow my locks out. This was like years ago, like 2013.
Mm-hmm. Right
I
on.
love the mohawk look, man. It's
I
cool
do too. Mohawks are cool. Definitely.
I can't really do my hats with the mohawk, but
I interviewed them. What was it? I think my 12th or 13th show was with them, and very informative dude. He's really cool. Good music, and they're just all about the music. Let's see. Anything? You got anything you want to ask?
No, in fact, I just dropped by because I'm
That's
in the
cool.
middle of that move, so I
Okay.
got to move on. Hey,
Okay.
man, it was great seeing you. I'll check out all your
Likewise.
stuff, man.
I
You
appreciate
sound
you.
like you
Thanks for
got it
joining
going.
us.
You got it going on. We'll see it.
Right
I
on.
appreciate that. I'm for sure gonna keep going, you know.
Huh?
I said I'm for sure gonna keep going.
Oh
This
hell
is
yeah! You're on the right path. You got the heart for it. You know, and I don't know what it is. I'm not no expert at nothing. I've always been a half-ass. You know, I've had really cool guitars, but I never put the time in to learn to play them. Really, I learned a few Metallica chords, and that's about all I got. You know, da 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 da. You know, I could do the beginning of
Dun,
one
dun,
really
dun,
well.
dun,
You
dun,
know,
dun,
but
dun.
I was a half-ass. You know, and with this, I don't know. I've decided that since I've been doing this, I've gotten a little more confidence because me and my cousin had a band when we were younger and got more than two people in the room. I couldn't sing, you know, so it's like, fuck that. I can't do that, you know, but now I'm going, well, I can put myself out there a little bit, you know, and I've
Yeah.
got 3 songs I'm gonna do, you know, for it. And you know, it's something to do, really. You know, we did a lip sync video in 8th grade, me and my buddies, and like my buddy Tommy Kaiser, he flubbed the whole video. He had to jump on one of those uh, uh, short tables at the schools, you know, those real short ones,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
round
yeah.
ones. He had to just jump up on it and do his little solo thing, and I'm singing, so I'm not seeing what he's doing, but I know his toe like clipped the edge, and boom, down he goes with his Explorer guitars, and boom, this loud boom. I went, motherfucker,
He
you
broke
know.
it.
No, you know, it wasn't the solo for sure. You know, everybody knew it. I talked to him a couple months ago. I go, you know, we're gonna redo the video, and he's like, okay, huh? I said, you heard me, you heard me. So I don't know.
That's funny as shit.
It's something fun to do. Here's something good about Alice in Chains.
Okay.
I went and saw Van Hagar in 92, 91 or 92. It was the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album.
Okay.
And Alice in Chains opens, and like Lane Staley, he's like stays in the same position the whole show because it was their first big tour. You
He
know,
probably was nervous.
nervous as fuck. Probably hot on heroin too, but he was nervous, I'm sure. But Jerry starts in on Man in the Box, the third song. And all of a sudden, a bigger Man in the Box sound comes on, and it's fucking Eddie playing Man in the Box, Eddie Van Halen. And it was like, holy shit. They played for like 20 minutes together. It was just incredible. Incredible.
Man. You know, it's so many bands that I wish I had a chance to see live. It's just artists in general. And that's another reason why I'm like going so hard, because I'm like, I already missed my chance to meet Ozzy. Yeah, he's one of the greats.
I got to see him and Zach Wild for the whatever Perry Mason was on, whatever record that was on. And he was phenomenal. Fucking
and Zach's another person I want to meet and jam with, you know what I'm saying? Dave Mustaine's also
Dave Mustaine would be cool too, for sure.
Lenny Kravitz. I wanted to meet Prince, but you know,
Prince would have been a cool one. I've really gotten to appreciate his music, not so much his style of music, but his guitar work is phenomenal. You know,
he's amazing,
and he does all the other instruments too. He said he does it all himself, and that's cool.
At one point, I like my understanding with an artist who could create all the music themselves, all the different parts, and then perform it as well. That was synonymous to me with what a rock star was, right? Because you had artists like Prince, you know, and he could do so much. Like,
he was crazy.
You gotta start asking yourself, is there anything he can't do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you get to that point, then you know you're dealing with a rock star. Exactly. It's like, damn, is there anything he can't do?
You're right.
And like, it like tore me up when like I found out he passed, and I'm like, I've just been wasting all this time. Mind you, I've been doing this for 15 years. I haven't been doing it professionally, like seriously. But you know, I feel like if I would have been able to meet him at some point.
Right.
And so now that I'm just like, well, I'm not going to cry over spilt milk, right? I'm just going to work harder to meet those
Exactly.
who are still here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like for me, Ozzy was my last straw. If I really got hit hard in 2020 when Alexi Laiho passed away.
Who's that? I don't know who.
He's the guitarist and frontman for Children of Bodom.
Okay.
I fucking love that band. That was my first time seeing any band perform live.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at the Theater of Living Arts on South Street. Um, I was like the only black guy in there, so I was nervous, but it was only like 12 people in there.
Right.
And so looking back, I'm like, shit, if I would have just grew up here, I could have met the guy. Like, but I was all like, oh, let me just enjoy the music and then leave. And I'm like, man, if I could go back, I was like this close to him.
Right.
Like there was no one in front of me. It wasn't like a packed arena.
Right.
So I'm guessing there's not a lot of Children of Bodom fans in Philly, but
Right.
I was there.
Right.
I was in my gear. I felt great. I felt like I was in my element, but I was nervous.
Right.
And I left before getting a chance to meet him. And then in 2020, he passed away.
Right.
And I was like, fuck. Because that's like my number one favorite band.
Right.
So then that happened. And then Ozzy passed away. And I'm like, you know what? I can't waste any more time. Like I have to go harder than I've ever been before, because if I'm ever going to meet these dudes,
exactly,
and let
them know there's concerts I want to see, and people are getting old. Like Megadeth, I never got to see Megadeth, and I probably won't be able to. I'm hoping maybe there's a chance, but I'm not thinking I probably will. Because they're
going to be performing.
Judas Priest is who I really want to see. Rob Halford is fucking Priest. God, and
yes.
He's gotten better as he's gotten older. He really has,
his beard is awesome. Their style is
so cool. He's way cool.
I love Judas Priest. So like you can kind of tell. So I'm like really into like the leather and metal studs. I love that shit. 1 second, I'm gonna show
okay.
So I went ahead and I invested in these expensive ass fucking jean pants.
Those are pants?
Are leather.
Right.
They're leather, and these go around the bottom part. So like where my calf is at, it's buttons. They button onto
the that's pants. Cool. That's cool.
Leather pants. And because I'm like, I love Judas Priest. I love everything about
those guys are so cool. They're so cool.
One thing like, we don't have that. We don't have that now. Like we don't have the overly flashy and just metal as fuck rock stars. Like I feel like the last time, like every rock star now, every artist, big band, they're coming out on stage in like t-shirts and like basketball shirts, and it's like, okay, cool, get comfortable, but like you're also putting on a show, right? And when you're putting on a stage show, you got to get into costume. And that's one thing I fucking love about Judas Priest is that I've never seen these dudes in civilian clothes.
Yeah, ever. Well, I've seen Rob Halford in different stuff, but mostly it's fucking spandex or leather. Most of the time.
It's like
it's cool.
So that to me, that's cool. And like same thing go for Prince. I've never seen him in anything that was just like regular,
not flashy.
Right? And like I think that we don't have enough of that either.
Right.
And so that's another part of my artistry that I'm trying to bring to the forefront is like, yes, I'm a great guitarist. Yes, I got some great songwriting skills, but I'm down to be flashy as fuck too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be flashy. I want the metal studs. I want the skull ring on my, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I need all of that. That comes with the territory. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I appreciate Kiss. They kind of said so Black Veil Brides, they kind of did something similar.
Right.
But I haven't seen anything outside of the first song that they came out with when I'm like, okay, cool. I appreciate that they're in character.
Right.
I don't know if they're still doing it. I know a lot of bands don't do it. They're just like regular dudes,
Right.
But like to ascend to metal god status, you gotta look like a metal god too.
Look like a metal god. Hell yeah. Exactly. You gotta be a metal god.
If I gotta try hard to be the last metal god that's ever gonna come out of the earth, I'm gonna go as hard as I can go because I love that shit,
Hell yeah. I was raised on that stuff. The 80s were the best era of, I think. The 70s were great and the 60s were even good for some stuff, but for like just the overall feel, everything from that era was good. You know, even the dance stuff, the pop stuff, everything was good back then. It seemed like,
Yeah,
you know, it was a really
yeah,
good decade of music. But you know, I'm starting to see a little more rock stuff come on, but not as much, you know, like on the charts and stuff. And I
mhm,
don't follow that shit,
right,
but it's nice, you know, in the 80s, fucking rock and roll ruled the roost. You know, they
yeah,
ruled the roost everywhere, you
yeah.
know.
I
And
really do feel like, I might be like I'm like a man out of time. I'm
Mhm.
displaced, right? Not only was I born a little too late,
Right.
but my
You would have
way
been
of
good in the 80s. You would have
yeah, I
been
think
good
I
in
would
the
have been
80s,
great.
fucking for sure, dude. For sure.
I feel like not only is my way of being an artist a little different than what's going
Mhm.
nowadays, um, my style, and like I'm okay with, you know, if people were to say like, "Oh, I'm trying to bring it back," that's fine, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I'm also okay with the idea that I might be one of the only artists in my genre that's going for this type of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like when it comes to the melodic music, I'm not just sticking to like solely heavy. Like some of the songs I have, you would think it was borderline blues, and that's
Mhm.
okay,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because I want you to feel something.
Sure.
But
Exactly.
also when you see me performing, I want you to feel like I want you to see me out of place, right? If you look to your left and you see black t-shirts and you look to your right and you see white t-shirts and you
Right.
look on stage and I'm like covered in fucking spandex and metal spikes,
Right.
that's good. That's good.
Fuck
That's what
yeah.
I want. That's what I want.
Hell yeah.
um I don't want to be dressed like the people coming to
Right.
see me, you
Right.
know? Um but I might be one of the only artists that see it this way. And there's another thing too, like within the black rock scene, right? Like a lot of the black rock artists, if they're not in a band, if they're not already like in a band, like you got Seven Dust,
Right.
Lejean is
Right.
the front man.
Right.
Like if they're not in a band and they're doing their solo thing, they have this really overly gothic thing where it's like it's almost scary,
Mhm.
right? I'm not trying to be nobody's fucking vampire.
Right. Right. Right.
I got nothing
Exactly.
against it, but it's like, why would I want? And it blows my mind because people love that shit. Like,
Mhm.
all the rock artists that are doing amazing right now, they look scary as fuck. Like you wouldn't want to be in a room with them with
Totally.
the lights out. And
Totally.
I want people to want to be around me. I want them
Right.
to feel like this guy's relatable.
Right.
I'm not
Just a
terrified
little
of him.
weird looking, you know, that's
Yeah,
fine. You know,
yeah.
you
You
know,
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to feel like I don't want to be a vampire rock star. I'm not, and that seems kind of like where the black rock scene is kind of heading, like where it's overly edgy, it's overly
right.
gothic, and
Right.
I'm cool with the classic
Yep.
flair, a little bit of shimmer, a
Yep.
little bit of spikes. I might
Yep.
have leather on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm
Right.
I'm making you feel something with my guitar. I'm not just making
Exactly.
noise like dum dum dum
Yeah.
dum. Like I'm actually
Exactly. Exactly.
like I'm actually giving you melody. Like, and
Exactly.
so I might really be in a lane that isn't fully saturated with people like me.
Right. But that's okay. You'll draw them in, you know, you'll get them, you know. I know I'll promote your stuff. I like your stuff, you know, and I haven't heard a lot of it, but I like it so far, you know, and it grabbed me. I know that. So I'm totally cool. You know, obviously it's just another reinforcement that I'm doing the right thing. You know, it's kind of a pain in the ass because I'll get people who go, "What the fuck are you writing for?" You know, and stuff. But it's like I don't know. I'm finding good music. That's one thing I can say is I'm finding good music, and everybody needs to listen to good music. You know, the
Yeah.
way I look at it for sure. And it's fun, you know. Who knows what'll happen, but I know I can do my part, you know,
Mm.
and I don't know. It'll
I
be
do
fun.
feel like people are just genuinely, um, they're just. I feel like there's a bit of weariness right now, where like with the state of the music industry and the
Right.
state of the music coming
The
out
AI
online.
thing going on,
Yeah,
it's
and like
it's
also the music being like redundant and
right,
repetitive, the
right.
same messages. And I think people want to feel something real again.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And this is the reason why I channel all my experiences. They were shitty experiences,
Right.
but if I'm able to transmute that energy into great
Then
music,
you're taking the bad part away, that way,
yeah.
and because that's why I like watch comedies. My mom watches nothing but murder shit, and it's
Oh
like
no, I can't
I
do
see
that.
it, and it's like I've cried enough over my life. It's time to laugh. Might as well laugh at it. And I've got a sick sense of humor. I could get really weird, with shit, but I've experienced enough to where it's tragic, and it
Mhm.
sucks. A lot of that stuff, and I try to make a positive of it too, because everybody's got an experience. I could tell my stuff, and it's pretty brutal, some of it, but I came back from it. I
Yeah,
don't do the same things I used to do. I don't get myself in situations with people that where weird shit happens, shitty shit
mhm.
happens,
Right.
and um, and one thing I learned, whatever you get, you got to give it away.
Right.
Help people and all that
We
stuff.
only we only get to give.
Right,
We
exactly.
only get what we have
Yep,
so that we can share. Like
exactly.
it's like we're just like a conduit
Hmm.
for the blessing for other
Right,
people. So I
exactly.
can even say that from my experiences. I may have been through that stuff, but I only had those harsh experiences so that I could turn that into music
Right,
in a time when people really need music like this.
they
People
do.
really need to hear music, not just noise.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
they want to have their hope back,
Right,
right? Because
exactly.
over the years, since the
It's been
80s,
stolen, straight
stolen.
stolen,
It's been stolen. Yeah, like
been
somebody
robbed.
stole it and they capitalized it and they
Yeah,
made it about money and they made it
yeah,
about shit that does not take us to ascension,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly, exactly.
And we all want to feel like we're getting closer. We all want
Right,
to have that
totally,
hope. So like
totally.
I think what I'm doing is going to help a lot of people. And I you know, I don't care if I gotta walk it alone. Shit, I've been alone for the better half of my life. And so like
Right,
I kind of that's kind of like one of my strengths is that
exactly,
I don't
exactly.
really need
You
a
can
lot
count
of
on
people.
yourself,
Yeah, I'm
because
self-sufficient.
people will fuck you off like no
Yes.
tomorrow, and they got their own
Yeah,
agenda anyway, and it's
exactly.
probably not with yours at all, unless they're getting something
Hey,
off of it.
listen. Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm like because I can read people's energy,
Right,
I can see people before they even open their damn mouths.
right,
I
exactly,
can see what they're about. I can see what their intentions are. And
right,
like I believe it or not, I got a lot of people around me that are that are they're just trying to cash in
yeah, yeah.
and get their foot in the door
They're
now while
leeches.
they
They're
can.
leeches, and they'll find out eventually. I'm a total believer in karma, and stuff
Yep.
like that, because what you put out there is what you get back,
Yep.
and I put out shit for a long time, and I help people. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm finding great music, that people need to listen to,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's a better world. My world's a better world. I've got issues in it, of course, because life happens, all the time, but I don't know. It's
And don't
fun.
get me wrong, like I understand like evolution and all. Like there's this one artist, his name is what's his name? A Hobo Jackson or Hobo Johnson or some shit.
I think I've heard of him.
He's like a spoken word
Oh,
rapper.
okay. Okay.
And I'm not ever one to like kind of hate on another person's craft because I feel like there's enough people in the world for everybody's lane.
Right. Right.
Um, but he gets like a lot of hate. And like when he first came out, people appreciated the authenticity and the rawness
Hmm.
that it wasn't like capitalized, it wasn't like
Right.
no studio polished, commercialized crap. It was
Right.
genuine, authentic, and he made it. He became successful, got signed to a label. But then after he signed to the label, his music started becoming more commercialized. The
Right.
footage was more commercialized,
Right.
but his sound, the way in which he did his music, it didn't change. Only the message got worse. Like,
Uh,
it was like Cyanide and Razor Box, kind of like, you know,
Right,
this
right.
shit was like music's supposed to make people feel good. So
That's right.
he kind of
That's
lost
right.
a lot of his fan following. But one thing I can say is a huge takeaway from his story is that some people say he fell off because he stayed the same, right? In an industry that's ever changing, he
Right,
stayed the same. Like he didn't experiment with new flows and new
right,
styles. And my only response to that is you got several different ways you can look at it, right? You know, I'm a firm believer of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
right, right,
But at the same time, that doesn't mean I'm against evolution. I just
right,
think you got to have the discernment to know what generation are you in?
right,
Like what age are you in? What sound do people need?
right,
Right?
right,
Because maybe at the time of his success, people needed to hear something more authentic. But as
right,
the internet evolved and social media became a thing, they needed to hear something a little different. And he didn't have the discernment to capitalize on what was changing. So he
right,
stayed the
right,
same and he got left behind.
right,
And now we're in the point where I feel like people are just so fed up with like how music is now that they're just like, well, let's just go back to what worked.
right,
And when it comes to rock and roll, they're like more so tapping into all these older artists now, and they're just
right,
like, this was beautiful. It didn't just
right,
sound good. It wasn't just creative. It wasn't just skillful, but it
right.
was beautiful. And like I
Exactly.
think, you know, on the verge of war and all the other crazy shit going on, people are looking for beauty in
Mhm.
the world that we're in. And so my goal as an artist is to present them with that beauty.
Right on.
Um, I'm going to be a sort of a conduit for that energy.
Cool.
Um, I'm using my story to, you know, like All Is Lost is the first song on my album for a reason because I don't want you to leave the album feeling like all is lost.
Right,
I want you to leave the album feeling ascended past that
right,
lower level,
right,
right? We all start somewhere,
right.
but
Exactly.
and I started there, like at the, like I said, at one point in my life, that's where I was at. But I continued to climb up that ladder until I reached ascension mentally, spiritually,
Right.
and musically, and that's the journey that I'm sharing with them. And
Yeah.
it's, you know, Ascension is just the first album this year. I have Gnosis coming out in the summer, and
Right
I have
on.
Semper Altius coming out in the fall,
Right
which
on.
Semper Altius means ever higher.
Right on. Right on.
So I'm going even higher
Hell yeah.
up. I'm just gonna keep going. You know, I wanna uplift the vibrational awareness
Exactly.
of the masses. You know, that's my goal.
Exactly. Right on. Right on. Well, you'll have to let me know when those times come and we'll have you on again for sure. You know,
Sounds good.
I'm full on in promoting anybody's stuff. You know, I don't know. I don't have a big following yet, but I know I'm going to have a following and people are going to hear more music from me, you know,
Yeah.
and it's going to happen, you know.
I'm gonna
Um,
share your channel as well on
I
my
appreciate that.
platforms.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that for sure.
no
Because
worries.
anybody, if you know anybody, you know, that you think I should talk to them and see if they're hip on and give me a name and I'll go from there, whatever. You know,
Got you, bro.
I, I know there's a lot of music out there and I'm learning that it's just not commercial yet, you know, as commercial
Yeah,
yet, but it's phenomenal shit out there, you know.
yeah. And I think that's good. I think a lot of people are tired of commercials. I
They
think
are, they
that's
are.
kind of what's happening right now. It's like the commercial shit, we're like backing away from the commercial shit and we're looking elsewhere.
Because we don't trust it. It's going to be the same. You know, who wants to hear the same every
And
time?
then
You
we're
know?
finding out that these artists aren't even writing their own music.
Yeah,
We're finding
exactly.
out you ever seen The Rocker?
No, I don't think so. Oh, the movie
Yeah.
with
So
was that
the guy the guy from The
Wahlberg?
Office? No, no.
Oh,
Um
the rock. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know which one you're talking
Right.
about now.
And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
so
That's funnier than
he was
shit.
yeah, he was with the band, right? In the beginning, the band Vesuvius.
Right,
But by the end of the movie, he's with a different band. He's opening up for Vesuvius. And it was hard for him to do that.
right.
At one point, he was like, if this was 10 years ago, I would have peeled all your skin off and I would have treated myself as some human Carpaccia. But then he was like, but I'm a new man. Enjoy the show. And then he opened for them. Everybody loved the performance of his new band. And
Right.
then Vesuvius comes on, and those guys are fucking lip syncing.
Ah!
So I'm
Wow.
like, yo, you're these mega massive stars
Right.
that sold out one of your bandmates, became British because they were from Cleveland, and
Right.
then they have that
Right.
British accent, and y'all lip syncing on top of all
Yep.
that. So what happened? All right, they got booed off the stage, obviously, and um Fish, which was the main character's name,
Right.
Fish, and his new band, they went back on the stage and they had a good show.
Right on.
But yeah, that's I'm saying that to say like the commercial shit, right? Like when you get to a certain level, it's like it becomes a game, right? And I don't want to lose that passion, man. If I gotta stay underground for the rest of my life, if that means
You know, underground has a good movement in it. You know, obviously,
yeah.
you know, so
I mean, it'll be nice to sign to a label and all of that, but like I have to make sure that whatever it is I'm subscribing to, yet again, does not
right,
suck away from me
right,
the
right,
things
right.
that I
It's
need.
got
It's
to
not
add
level.
to instead of take away. You know,
Exactly. Like I can't because what I was given in here, that's what I'm supposed to use,
right, right,
you know? And so if
right.
I let anyone change that, now I'm not doing my job.
Exactly. You're slacking. You
I'm
know,
not
you're
doing what I
slacking.
was put here to do. I
Right,
wasn't put here to do X, Y, and Z. I was put here to do something specific. And so whoever I'm working with, they have to understand that,
right on,
you know?
right on,
And they, like you said, they got to add to it, not take away. Because I'm not going to take away anything they're doing.
right, right.
You know,
Totally,
I'm not about to
totally,
give up anything either. If I gotta
exactly.
go it alone, I will.
Yep. More power to you,
So
bro. For sure. For
yeah.
sure. You know, I appreciate you. You know, it, you've got a drive to you for sure. You know, and I don't know. You know, I sense things. I'm more psycho than psychic. You know, I guess. But I can sense some things. You know, with people. I got a good ear, so I can hear. I know what good music sounds like. You know, and you just had something. You know, and you write a good song. You know, it's definitely good.
I
Um,
appreciate you. So
um,
fun fact before we go,
okay.
Ascension, um, it started out me just kind of playing around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so, it was when I got this this brown guitar. So I'm
Uh-huh.
using a photo right now
Right, right. What
for
kind
my
of guitars are
video.
those?
So I got a red Jackson Warrior,
That's
a,
cool.
a black Jackson Rhodes V
Right on.
X series, and I have a tan Jackson Rhodes V JS series,
Right
and then the
on.
Silvertone Apocalypse on the floor.
Right
But
on.
this is my actual scene behind me. It's kind of
Right.
dark in the room right now, but if I was to turn the
Right.
wallpaper off, that's what you would see on the wall
Right
behind
on.
me.
Right on.
Um, so I got the tan guitar and I wanted to test it out. So, you know, I started playing it
Right.
and I came up with this riff. It was just ascending. And
Right.
as I got to a certain point, I brought it back down. And I just
That's
repeated that
cool. That's
three
cool.
times. And then when I got to the third, when I did it the third time, I'm like, okay, where can I go from here? And I realized since I mainly play in drop D,
Mm-hmm.
my fingers on uh my fingers like on the 10th fret. I
Mm-hmm.
realized since I'm only having one finger, right, for drop D, I could pluck each string
Right.
individually. So that's where the switch up comes in.
That's cool.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? And
cool.
then my
Right.
wife was like, that's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, you like it? I'm like, I'm just playing around. She's like, that is a really good song.
Right on.
Um, so I started working on that, and then what you have now is the final product.
Right on. That's
So
cool.
one of my
That's
great masterpieces.
I have
Um,
a jam session here every so often. Every couple of weeks, I try to get a bunch of people in, and I tell them all. I said I'm recording it. I said
mm,
if something really good comes out of it, you know, we'll all talk about, you know, see what we can do with it, you know, in a sense. But I'll use it for stuff on the show, you know, little riffs
mhm.
here and there, you know, and opening and beginning or something, you know, and give them credit for it and all that, you know. But I know eventually one of these days something really good's going to happen,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and it's going to be, oh yeah, you know, my cousin he plays a Jackson. He just bought a hot pink Jackson with pink
Mm.
pickups on it, reverse headstock on it,
Oh
and
wow.
it's fucking sweet. He's just warranty martini shit on it. You know, it was pretty cool. It's a nice guitar, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jackson makes some really good
They make
guitars.
good stuff,
The only
definitely.
thing I wish is that for the Red Warrior that I have, that the neck was black,
Right.
you know. But I was gonna take it to a luthier and have them kind of, do that. I got the dye, the ink or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I managed to make the neck a little bit darker because it's like it's a mahogany. It's
Right.
straight up light tan.
Right. Right.
Um, I did get the ink for it, but like I managed to make it a little bit darker. But I'm like, all right, I need a professional to sand it down,
Right.
do da, da, da,
Right.
and then reapply the fret markers, the shark fin inlays. But I think if it was black, so I'll show you.
Okay.
If it was black,
That's a nice guitar. That's nice.
this is my
If it was
baby.
black, it'd be way cool. Super
If
cool.
the neck was black,
Yep.
it would be perfect because the rest of the guitars are already red and black. You know?
Right, right. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be a lot nicer looking with black on it, definitely. I just saw a machine, this guy, the blues guy that I told you about, Timmer. He brought a guitar down to this machine. It's like a CNC machine, but it does stuff with the frets. I don't know what the hell it's called. I'll find it and send you a link to it. It's cool as hell. It takes that thing and just does all sorts of shit on the frets, it gets them back down even and shit again and whatever. It's pretty neat. I was impressed.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I just love guitars.
I know guitars are the shit. I wish I would have put more time into it, but that's okay. I'm meeting people who can play it better than I can anyway. But
hey man, listen, you got a passion for something, and I think if you just keep going, the universe will meet you where you are.
Right.
That's how God works. He'll meet.
That's how God works. Exactly.
And don't let anybody tell you that. Don't let anybody tell you that you're on the wrong path, because at the end of the day, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They don't.
And anybody that can't see the path you're on being the path that you should be on,
right?
It ain't for them.
No, it ain't. It ain't.
There's no such thing as music that I don't like.
Right.
There's just music that isn't for me.
Well, the band Bread, I don't like anything by them. They are the world's mellowest band, and to listen to it for 2.5 years on 8-track. So it's going to skip at one point, during and go back to the rest of the song. Oh my God. I developed a tick, I think. And every time I hear them now, I just want to punch somebody. It doesn't matter who, I just want to punch somebody,
Well, my question is, does Bread have a large following?
They were popular in the 70s. Listen to them. Look them up. They're mellow. Have you ever heard them?
No, I heard of a game called This Is Bread.
They have a song called Baby, I'ma Want You. And it's like the mellow.
Baby, I'ma Want You?
Yeah. Yeah. They're horrible, dude. I just want to punch somebody every time. They're
I'll tell you this.
All amps go to 10, right? Theirs only goes to like 1.5.
I'll tell you this shit. When I type my name in on Google, nothing like that comes up.
I can't see it.
Hold on. Let me try to see if I could. Hold on real quick. Video and effect setting. All right. Let me turn this background shit off. So as you can see, that's my real background. But yeah, when I type my name in, nothing like that comes up. They gotta be doing something right.
No shit.
Like,
they were popular, but man, they're too mellow. Way too mellow.
He said Bread is like, I hate those guys.
Oh God,
it's funny because some people were saying the same thing about the guy I was telling you about, the Hobo Johnson. Like he really rubbed some people the wrong way. Like they were even calling him cringe.
Wow.
But I'm like, well, he made millions of dollars doing what he's doing.
He did something right,
I feel like I really truly feel like there's a lane for everyone. I don't feel like
there is.
I don't feel like, how in the Bible where it says like he won't ever give you more than you can handle.
Right.
Well, if you have a gift, that means there are consumers out there. There are fans out there. There are people who love what you're doing. And there's going to be people who don't like it. Like I can't stand spinach.
Right.
But spinach keeps sprouting up everywhere because people eat it.
Right.
So, I'm the minority in that situation. But this is the reason why I say don't let anybody tell you that what you're doing isn't.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If you're able to do it, then there's people out there that need to see your show.
Yep. I'm getting ready to launch it on everything else on Spotify and all that. I'm trying to get it set up to do that. And that'll be a big deal. I'll definitely get some more listeners and stuff that way or whatever. But, everything's attainable now. I've seen enough. I've met enough really cool people so far, that keeps me going where I'm doing the right thing. I got to be. When all of them are saying, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing," troll
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and all that, because you're obviously finding some good shit. You know,
you done put me onto a few bands I'm definitely going to tap into.
Oh, I can turn you on to some lots of bands, lots. Just local bands like from Spokane. Man. I'll fucking send you some shit, you know, for sure.
Also, I did send you I sent you directly to your email.
Cool.
So
cool.
You don't gotta worry about streaming it or none of that.
Cool.
Shit.
It'll go on my playlist, dude. It'll go on my
access.
Right on. Right on, bro. Well, I thank you for coming on. This has been great. You want on, if you got anything else, whatever, if you want to come on, just let me know and I'll put you on, you know.
Sounds good.
I'm all for that, you know. Can't do this shit alone, you know. I can't promote rock if there's no rock people coming on my show, you know. So whenever you want to, we'll figure it out, you know.
I appreciate you, bro.
And I appreciate you,
out, man, and just having me on here. I had a blast, you know, and you know, we'll talk because you know we spoke beforehand, but we'll continue that conversation.
Definitely. I'll send you a little email. I want you to do one little selfie video for me. Okay. And I'll say what you need to see. It's like 7 seconds, but it's it's like my new catchphrase thing. That's what I'm going to use to throw out there. And people, you know, people see that, I know that guy, you know, lessons from the thank you box, you know. So I'll send you that. But I appreciate you coming on, man. And anytime you want to come on, let me know for sure. If you got it, if you know, find anybody else you think I should have.
I got a few people in mind that I think you would like hit it off really good with. So
right on. Right on.
Send them your way.
Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
Metal, my friend.
Have a great day.
You as well.
This is Lat from Lessons from the Thank You Box, and today we have a premiere of my friend Nathan Licht's new record. It's called Ascension, and the song is epic because he's epic. Give him a shout out. Listen to his music, stream it, buy it, whatever you got to do. But Nathan Licht is the man. Check this out. Enjoy.